It's a lovely good evening, and you're welcome to Melo Live. My name is Valerie Panda, and we're here at Malata Community. Malata is the compound situated within Katlonga. And right now, I'm standing next to someone who's going to introduce himself. Well, basically, this evening, we're just talking about different issues that are affecting several communities. So I'm going to ask a question, and at some point, people are just going to express their views concerning several issues that are happening around. Good evening. I'm in. How are you? Yeah, you can give us your name. Okay, so what are we going to? Suicide. Are you on social media?
Yes,
You're on social media, and I guess you're still too, right? Yeah. Sometimes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So basically, there's a lot of suicide cases that have been going on lately. We've seen a lot of young people taking their lives. So, what do you have to say about that?
this one was on the mind. I would prefer men were listened to more without being criticized. Because I recently saw something where when a man opened up, it became meaning. So men were understood more. But
Okay, so you only care about the man. How about the female side?
the matter as well. But I'm telling you, because I'm a man, I'm telling you from myself. But if you ask me about general, I think communication is the most important thing without asking.
So, what do you think should be done to reduce the numbers of people committing suicide?
Uh,
Like stakeholders, institutions, government.
I think we should introduce platform where we are free to open up without being that you. A lot of us are going through a lot of issues. Some people think some other issues are more important than others, or harder than others. But if you open up and other people don't judge us, that would be okay.
We do have counseling stations in clinics, hospitals, even places like China. Do you think people know about those institutions, or maybe they just take it for granted, or maybe they feel like they won't necessarily get the help that they need?
From my experience, I think we know about a good idea as well about it, but I just not really educated enough about what goes on. If you talk a lot about now, because what I've come to notice when someone talks about mental health, most people think they're mad. No one wants to say, you're mad. But if you had more education about mental health and what stages it goes through and all that, you educate people about mental health, it would help a lot. And I think a lot of us need it, but we don't realize it, but a lot of us.
Okay, so just before you go, I would also like you to speak about anything that you have in mind. Is there anything you'd like to bring up, any issue?
Whoever is in control needs counseling, hospitals, and whatnot. I would like whoever is the head of this, please educate us more on mental health. A lot of us, a lot of us have gone through a lot of things. And it's just a conversation that we need to have with these people that will help us with what is going on. Even suicide, like, if your friend died, it would affect you.
Yeah.
I've had 4 friends that have committed suicide. It affects me. So please talk about it. Educate us. I would appreciate that.
And then on cadres also, is there anything you'd like to cadres?
Yeah, that's true. Around contrary to popular belief, our president had said we intend to gather or something. I remember watching speech at his house. It's just good on paper. In reality, it's still going on.
Where at cadres? Asian.
Stations that are there. Where I live, there's a bus station. What is it called? Watchtower. That cat does there. You know, the control of the water.
The harassment.
I wouldn't say harassment. The control of the water.
The control.
Yes, the control.
Okay, thank you so much. And do you have anything else you'd like
So
to?
this is what we talk about.
Okay. Okay, so still within Malata, we are just going to speak to the next person. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Hi, thank you. How are you? Please give us your name.
My name is DJ Roller. from Komoro.
Okay, so Mr. Ngandu, I would like you to speak about the rates at which we're having accidents lately. I'm sure you've noticed that there's been so many accidents, precisely to be specific, last month and this month. And people are saying a lot of things on social media. Others are blaming it on the roads, and are saying no, people are driving all drunk. And there's all sorts of things. What's your take on that?
All right. When you talk about accidents, an accident is an incident that just occurs there and then. It's not planned. But certain accidents can be avoided. So there are so many factors that will lead to these road traffic accidents. Yeah, one, if you talk about the roads, there should be proper signage. The road should have proper signage to be direct. There should be a language that the sign should speak to the motorists, the pedestrians, cyclists, whoever is using these roads. Yeah. So if there's poor signage, that might lead to that might be a contributing factor to the cause of accidents. And then there's also rules that are set, the speed limit, you know, and they do not drink and drive. You don't know whether it's a policy, a rule, or a pronouncement, but I think the statement is also too ambiguous. Probably would appeal to the powers that be to rephrase that one. Because if they say don't drink and drive, I'll drink, then I'll start driving. So probably there might be a problem here. So we know what they mean. When you're drunk, don't be on the road. Yeah. So there's need for rephrasing that because it has been there from ages and people don't observe that. So the roads are there and the drivers are there, but who's on the road also matters. Who issues this license? Who's in charge of which cars are supposed to be on the roads? So there are so many issues that might contribute to the high rate of accidents that happen. But still, all in all, in a nutshell, there are so many things.
Do you think doing away with roadblocks could also be contributing to these accidents?
On that one, I think it's incumbent upon each and every road user to observe them. So the roadblocks, doing away with the roadblocks might not be a factor in the accidents. Yeah, it's the system is there. These cars are registered. They go for getting these what you call fitness. Yeah, fitness and road tax and everything. So I think the roadblocks, to a certain extent, there's a way that they were inconveniencing motorists. Yeah. So it cannot be a contributing factor. There's the traffic department that has to check. Probably checkpoints are there and random checks on the cars that are on the roads to see whether they are fit to be on the road, who's driving, and they qualify to drive. Which license do they have? Because licenses are also in classes. Are you driving this car? That you can't drive if you have an automatic license, you can drive a manual. Yeah, so there are so many things there. But basically, the accidents, look at the time they occur also. Yeah, so it will tell you something. It will give you to ring something in your mind. If it's in the night, past midnight, weekend, then there's the issue of drinking. Yeah.
Okay, so apart from what it's design that you'd like to speak about,
yeah, it's just an appeal to this community. This community needs a lot of help. Being at the center of residential areas, as well as being at the center of residential areas, as well as we have schools here. There are schools dotted around here. We've got Kablonga Girls, Boys, Twin Farm, we've got Trust here. We've got the Science Center, and that is
teaching cancer coming around. So it's up to the parents here, to give us help in terms of growing the children in this community. What are you telling your children about the science center that is around there? What innovative ideas are you giving the children, or are you just letting the children go out on the streets in a normal way because it's life every day? Create at least an opportunity for them, so that they grow up to be better citizens in the future. So we've got the facilities, we've got everything around. Apart from recreation, probably for the youth, recreation around here is what is taking them so much into the use of the abuse of substances like drugs and illicit beer and many other bad activities that they are engaged in. So we really need to find a way. So we will appeal to the powers that be to look at this community and do the right thing for the community, because initially this community is a nice community and it has always been. It's a wonderful community, wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. John. So now I'm just going to speak to the next person. Good evening.
Good evening.
Fine, thank you. Please give us your name.
My name is Andrew.
Andrew. Okay, so Mr. Andrew, you can just speak about anything that's in your mind regarding communities and what's going on.
Where is on my mind right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Towards the community.
Towards the community, what's going on right now in the country,
And what's going on now?
anything that's bothering you that you think needs to be sorted out soon.
Okay. I'm almost on the road, so my main concern will be on the main road, the highways, especially the highways, and the local ways. I don't know how Russia is working out, how they work out, how they plan in some of these other places, especially the local side, how they grade them, because you find that uh, you boarded buses.
Yes.
Sometimes there's that and I can't call it incompetence, but I'll try to say that there's that
Negligence, yeah.
negligence towards passengers.
Yes.
Yes. If maybe they would have a certain grading towards guys whereby they're able to handle passengers at a certain rate. And when it comes to the highway guys, yeah. The highway guys, yes. Let's drive nice. We drive, but let Russia have a proper program for these guys who are on the highway. The truck drivers, the passenger buses drivers, whatever. Most maybe Russia will look at the passenger buses and they will maybe neglect screening the truckers. Truckers really see how they relate on the road, how they liaise on the road. It's all about liaison. Yeah. I'm a driver myself. It depends on how I liaise. There's a way that we liaise. It's liaison. So Rasta need to look at that. You don't have to have issues whereby someone said, no, I didn't see that train coming. No. So,
Do you have anything else to say?
yes, if Rasta can help the kids on the road, Rasta need to push I'm sorry about I'm just pushing towards that. They need to have some program towards the kids about crossing the road crossings here, especially in these schools. The red zone. A lot of these kids just cross anyhow. There is no proper guidance towards crossing the road. Especially the danger points are towards the schools. They just by the schools. If they can have proper guidance and all those guys, that would be proper. It would help the kids. Because my concern is towards the kids. Yeah. Because none of these, a few know about the issue of school. That
Thank you for being
even drivers, very few drivers know about how to approach
what?
a section where there's a school error. Even timing. That goes with timing as well. So if Rust can have the issues there, the patrons or whatever they can come up with, great. Thank
Okay,
you very much.
thank you so much. You've heard it from him. He's almost well, not attacking, but talking about Rasta and how they should ensure, especially for pedestrians, even school going children, those that have to cross the road in order to avoid many of these accidents that are happening. So right now, I'm just going to speak to the next person also. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you? Your name is?
My name is Sam Pachu. I just want to talk about two things real quick. People in the community are using a drug called Melo. I don't know if you read about it. Yeah, so the guys what they're doing in this small, so they'll steal from you, they'll get your funds. And then I also want to talk about along British Road. There's that spot along between ever since the construction, the road, ever since the road was redone, that spot has become dangerous. Too many accidents. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, so you spoke about drugs, and I just want to be sure if you are specifically referring to this community or every other community.
No, not this community to be precise, but I think around the circle, this drug being abused mostly around the circle.
Okay, so who do you think is supposed to do the job? Is it the parents that are not taking care of the children? Is it gang that's not doing enough to curb these vices?
No, being a drug addict, it can't be. We can't put the blame on the parents. Um, society has got a lot of factors. Right now, we've got a lot of cases to do with mental health. People are killing each other every day in Zambia. There's a suicide case. So I feel a lot of youths, especially, abusing the drug because they are affected mentally. So I feel the Drug Enforcement Commission, DEC, should do something about it, especially in the communities. Patrol the community a lot and see what's happening in the communities.
All right, thank you so much. Do you have more to say?
That's it for today.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so we're just going to move around and get more views from more people as we move towards this other direction. Well, that's all that we have for you today on Melo Live. Make sure that you join us next Sunday at the same time. And yeah, it's been me, your host, Valerie Banda. Later.